Hundreds gathered today at the Warhawk Air Museum to remember a part of American military history. The symposium was part of the 50th commemoration of the Vietnam War. On Your Side's Tammy Scardino joins us live in studio with more.
Karen, the symposium series is meant to be educational, but it's also had a healing effect on veterans who didn't receive a heartwarming welcome home. With 500 to 700 people in attendance at the last 4 Vietnam War commemoration symposiums, one thing is for sure.
There's a huge interest in the history of the Vietnam War.
Today's topic was centered on what it was like to be a POW MIA and what it was like to return home.
It was a war that people couldn't get their arms around. It's like a cloud. You're just trying to figure out where to hold on, especially following so shortly, just within a few years of World War II.
Joe Krecka served in the Air Force. On his 87th mission, the plane he was in took a hit.
There was no warning. We didn't have any electronic warning gear like the airplanes later had. And so it just blew our airplane right out of the sky.
Joe and the front-seater pilot were ejected, but only one of them made it safely to the ground. The Washington State man recalls that day, saying he was surrounded by 300 peasants who beat him up and escorted him to a prison, where he was tortured for a week. Joe made up a fake story about his mission, stuck to it, and eventually was left alone. He returned home with hundreds of other POWs, following the peace accord that was reached on January 27, 1972.
Communism had murdered 100 million people. So anybody says, was it worth going to Vietnam? I say fighting against a regime like that certainly seems worth it.
The special Vietnam War Symposium series at the Warhawk Air Museum is nearly over. The last event will be focused on the soldiers' homecoming. It will be held on August 29th, starting at 10 a.m. and includes a barbecue. Live in studio, Tammy Scardino, 6 on Your Side.